Hey everybody, Arthur here with episode 8 of State of the Art, and today I have a special guest, a guest I felt that needed to be on this channel, and that is Greg of Super Action Stuff. Greg, how are you doing this fine evening?
Hey, great, Arthur. Thanks for letting me join the show. Happy to chat about whatever. We all have a lot of shared common interests.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. What's up, Josh Cox? I see Cox Crete in the mix, and so anybody questioning why Greg is not on camera, not everybody likes to be on camera, and that's okay. So we got his logo that you get to stare at as we chit chat, and you can hear his beautiful voice. So
Thank you. I am horrifyingly ugly, so I want to save you guys the trouble.
like Quasimodo.
Yeah,
But
not like in a, kind of cute way.
so but all right, so yeah, I got you on here because I have gotten some of your products, been using them, been having fun with them, and I felt
Thank you.
like everybody that watches my content and they're going to really enjoy what we have to share today. And my question I ask everybody gets in here, what was like one of the first action figures that you can remember that you got that you loved, like you just had it as a kid and it was like the best thing ever?
Mm. Um, Pretty cliche, but like, I come from like the early 80s, 80s, 90s when I started collecting a lot of toys, and my brother had GI Joes, and I got his GI Joe sets, his figures and everything. So Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, those are my favorite growing up.
Now, would you say are they still your favorite since Classifieds dropped?
I mean, even more so because I mean we have way too many Snake Eyes figures, but they're all pretty awesome in their own way. But the Storm Shadow um, from Classified this year is definitely one of the best like mass market figures this year. And that one hits like story and nostalgia hits from my youth. So that's a great figure. Yeah, the classified ones make me very happy.
Nice, nice. And so what was like what got you into collecting, or did you have that moment like a lot of people where they're younger, they collected and they played with their stuff, then they got into a collecting phase and they sort of dropped off and they picked it back up, or have you been sort of collecting consistently?
Yeah, that sounds a lot like me. Like I definitely had him as a kid, and then uh played with action figures a little bit longer than most people. Um, Mostly like GI Joes, and I got into like even the 5 inch Marvel or X-Men figures. I had a lot of those growing up. And then you grow up and you wanna date, you gotta try to get into college, those types of things, and you take a respite, and then um, later on, yeah, like Marvel Legends came out, like the Toy Biz ones, and I'm like, these are awesome. They really came in the comic and everything. They're the original Toy Biz ones, and that got me right back in the action figures again. And I started collecting Legends.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's sort of like the biggest, like that whole Toy Biz era drew so many people in just because of
Yeah,
what
they
you
did.
got, the sculpt, the paint, the articulation, and like you said, the comic. And then they even all almost, if they didn't come with like some sort of vehicle or a giant effect, they had like a dio piece with it, you know?
Yeah, there was so much like quality put in there. There's it was like such a great action figure line that hit. It was great for kids too, but it was had so many like um nostalgic points for like adults, for people who read the comics, and they're amazing sculptors, some amazing sculptors that worked on all those earlier Legends toys.
Nice, nice. So we got Trevor McGuire in the mix saying, hey, got Toy Talk. Um Cox Create saying Tailspin Baloo was his when he was a kid. RG in the mix, KJ Smith. We got a super chat in here. The Canuck, thank you for the $5. Says, see, you still have lots of head behind you. Let's get this shit show going. Hail super action stuff. Hail chat. Hail mods. So, and then Art says those comics from Toy Biz are still valuable. Yes, that is true. That is true. Some of those Toy Biz comics, if they've been kept in good condition, can get you a good dollar amount.
Even though
Surprisingly.
those are just like reprints.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yep. There's a friend of mine, Nate Simmons. He's a huge like comic guy, and he told me about it, and I was like, really? I just sort of like tossed them in some like box So I was like showing him, he's like, yeah, that one. He's like, that one could bring you some. And he's like, it's all based on condition. And of course, I just toss in box because they were just reprints. But it's crazy what stuff goes up in value.
That's interesting because I think like some of those Toy Biz figure runs were higher than the actual comic run.
Yeah. Yeah. It is very, very wild. Um, Judd's in the mix. And yeah, actually, speaking of figures, I mean, what's the latest figure that actually have gotten into your hands? What have you picked up lately?
Well, it's been crazy this past couple months because all those pre-orders that I made, last year or like 6 months ago are just rolling in. So it's kind of like Christmas, Hanukkah, and all the holidays combined. I'm like literally getting like a new figure every day, every 2 days from stuff that I didn't even remember ordering. So yeah,
Yeah.
today I just got the MCU Moon Knight one. Actually, it's been nuts. Today I got the Moon Knight one. The other day I got the Black Skulls 3 set from Mezco. Um, Geez, I got the Tiger Force Outback. That one came in after I think I was getting an email every day, every week at like 4 a.m. in the morning, asking me to confirm my order. And like it was like a Hunger Games situation where if you didn't do it quickly enough, you'd die and you lose your order. So that one finally came in, and I was like, I never thought I'd actually see it, but that's a really cool figure. Old dudes with guns are always entertaining.
Yeah, they did a really good job on that head sculpt.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
canceled mine out because the original one's coming out, but I might still aim to pick it up just because it's a cool old man head, you know.
Yeah, I had that thought, but I felt like they're different enough. He goes really well with that old man Hawkeye.
And oh, we got some confirmation. We got RG saying, yep, the Toy Biz Spider-Man 2099 figure. The comic is a variant white cover that's worth 300 to 400 alone.
That's bonkers, man.
Definitely is.
But good for
Definitely is.
those who held on to them.
But the pre-order stuff is getting crazy. And RG is one of my like good friends, and he finds stuff that I'm like always looking for something. Like he found me the Boba Fett from the Droids. Then he found me that holiday Mandalorian. Like I cut back a lot of my Black series, and I'm
Mm,
like, I'm just doing Mandalorians, and of course that's what's being dropped. Like here, you need another Boba Fett, and I'm like, well, I do because it's a different paint setup, so it could be a totally different Mando.
right.
But got those, and then had Sergeant Slaughter come in, and then today that retro beast, the better beast from my X-Men Legends came
Mm.
in.
Yeah, Sergeant Slaughter's in my BBTS pile of loot, so I'm waiting for a couple more things to hit this month,
Yeah,
and then I'll probably get that
that's
shipped out.
that's a whole shit show with people comparing it to other Sergeant Slaughters, and
That's the thing. I
it-
got the Valiverse one like a couple months ago, and then I thought this one I would probably get in March next year or something, but well, lo and behold, I got it. It's in my BBTS got it before everyone else somehow.
yeah, one of the another toy reviewer, T-Man 978, he actually took the holsters off the Valiverse one, put it onto the Hasbro one, and it looks awesome.
Mm, that's a
You
great
know,
idea. Yeah, and the best thing about the Valiverse ones is like their bodies, the bucks are great. So I can swap that head off and use it for something else.
exactly. Or it's like I've been telling everybody, I'm like, you could like both. Like one is more of a roided out comics, superhero build versus more of a grounded, realistic build. And then, everybody will want to raise their torches and pitchforks and drag me behind a horse because I say that. I'm like, well, it's not like we truly got a Sergeant Slaughter accurate body. He was like that not ripped, sort of big, he was sort of like a thicker, almost fat wrestler.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of in the golden age of 6-inch figures right now. I mean, who would have thought there'd be 3, 4 Sergeant Slaughter figures out today from a guy who was popular like 30 years ago?
Exactly. That is very true. And I was like, you know what? And that's another reason I was like, you gobble them all up because like how often are we going to see this again? You know.
Right. Yeah, it's great, but it's also a problem. But I'm
So,
enjoying it for now.
so super action stuff. That's your company.
Hmm.
You made it. You got me drawn in with your bag of violence
Hmm.
and the why is the other one thinking? I want to say it's firearms, but it's not.
Firepower.
Firepower
Yeah.
pack. Like both those drew me in, and because it was like one of those things where you see it and it's sort of like too good to be true when I was looking at it, because you like look at accessories, because there wasn't that many 112 style accessories like you were like what you were doing. You know,
Mm.
you had the muzzle flashes, you were pumping those out before people were starting to do muzzle flashes. Really, you were doing like the blood effects and things like that. And all this stuff, everybody, the packs I'm talking about, you can go to the website, super action stuff that's in the description. You can end up picking up those packs currently right now. And then there's also a couple foodie packs and some customizing you can do, which we will be visiting the website. Um, but yeah, your stuff's awesome. I use it a lot. And what got you into wanting to make 112 scale accessories and effects?
Mm. Um, well, I mean, clearly, I'm addicted to the plastic form, so I'm definitely a fan myself. Um, I remember I was like in the office I was working at the time. There was a lot of action figure collectors too. It was a people they encouraged to kind of like show off your geek side,
Nice.
and I just like the first set I did was a foodie pack, and to me it was just like I always enjoyed like kind of the photography side of it and kind of the funny side as well. So to me, I was thinking like, okay, how funny would it be if um, Deadpool had his taco, or you had Captain America getting drunk with Iron Man, rather than just like your basic like vanilla or like superhero poses, like an office atmosphere. People like to joke around a little bit. So I thought that would kind of be like, in the office, what do people do? They talk about what are they gonna have for lunch every day. So food's a big part of it. So I said, okay, let me pitch this idea to some people I knew who made toys, and they could kind of show me the ropes. And this it kind of like it kind of took off. It did pretty well, and then I listened to feedback from a lot of buyers and audience because I saw things coalescing to 6-inch form. So I was asking them like, what else do you guys want to see next? And I can't take credit for like being the first to do muzzle effects, not at all. But the kind of the two pieces of feedback I kept on getting was like, I want to get more blood effects and I want to get muzzle flashes. There were definitely ones that existed, but either they didn't quite look right, or the scale was off, or they were too expensive, or it's too difficult to find them. And I was basically able to work with my factory and get it down to a price that's reasonable. That was kind of the big thing for me is I the thing that pissed me off as a toy collector is I don't like things that are overpriced. I want the price to be pretty consistent. I want them to be easy to find. So, I probably make a dumb business move by over ordering a little bit because I don't like people to have to hunt for this stuff. I want it to be available. Um, and it's got to be fun. It's got to be fun. It's got to be stuff they like. So I get a lot of feedback from um, other toy collectors, toy photography people. Like, what are the kind of things you like? What are the kind of things you want? Let me see if I can get it to a price that's like that that I can reach a larger audience for it.
Yeah, that's that's awesome too. It's just like I think you have a lot with having the passion behind it. Being a collector, nerd, whatever you want to classify it, just being passionate about it and then creating something for that, I think helps when it comes to like, doing a business that's in that same realm, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I try to be human about it. Like the things that toy companies do that piss me off, I try to avoid doing those same things.
We got Art G says he loves the food packs.
Thanks.
And so let's dive into some of your stuff. So everybody again that's watching, website down below, you can get the foodie packs. You can actually do some customizing. You can sort of like build your own. If I do believe that's still going on the website, where you sort of custom accessory like the food stuff.
Yeah, there's a couple like breakout packs because the coloring on the first one that I did that's packaged, it was a little cartoony, and a lot of the feedback that I got was they wanted kind of less bright, darker colors, a little more realistic. So I had a half set that I packaged, and the other half set was unpainted. So I had those repainted, and they're loose because I was getting a lot of requests for people who just wanted the beer bottle or just wanted cell phones. So I kind of gave it an option where people can buy them individually if they want. So you can get breakout packs. I have a lot of them. They're all for sale. The sets I did after that were the Firepower and Bag of Violence one. The Bag of Violence ones, unfortunately, are sold out. Um, but that one came out in what 2020, so I hope people had ample time to get them. Um, and that one did really well for me. That one sold out very quickly and kind of convinced me to keep on doing this. The Firepower ones, I still have more of those left, and yeah, those are the most recent sets, and I'm working on a lot of stuff now. I don't know if you want to get into that.
Yes, we're gonna get into that right now, which is some of the stuff that is for the future. Or well, actually, this is a release you're talking about. Let's go ahead and go a little bit. I think I like it the other way. So we got the Casket of Cruelty that you've been showing off through your Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. And when I saw this, I shit my pants. I was just like, holy hell. I wasn't expecting this, to be honest. Like at this level, like you came out with guns blazing. I mean, a full-on casket that can fit a 112 scale action figure. You know, we got that. The closest thing we could get to something like that would be I think when if you invested into Nosferatu from Mezco, you know, and it, where did the thought behind this come from?
Yes, so I try to improve a little bit from each set. Again, I listen to a lot of feedback from the action figure community and photographers. So and kind of like the general philosophy behind these sets are, 80% of them is is fan feedback, and then 20% is just like crazy ideas that come to my head. That kind of like keeps me motivated to keep on working on them. So um, here's kind of like a thought process I had going this. So the Bag of Violence did really good. I kept on getting more requests for more blood. So I'm like, okay, let's do more blood effects, kind of get them in different styles and different shapes, and a little more diversity from the first set. So I got requests for like larger blood effects, ones with kind of organs and guts that are visible. So there's a few of those. I got requests for like a decapitation effect, one for like a if you like for like a dripping, if you like cut off a head and have like a dripping blood effect coming down
Nice.
from there. That's in there. Got requests for like bullet wounds and bullet exits. So I got that in there. I got requests for like organs. So got a nice little brain in there with a bite mark in it, like a bloody heart in there. Um, I got requests for like bloody attachments to weapons. So I got two different sizes for that. Um, and then in terms of the casket itself, like one thing I didn't like with my last products were the packaging. The packaging, I thought for a Bag of Violence and Firepower, I thought they looked good, but myself when I got them in hand, I'm opening them, they're kind of like they're a little frustrating to open, and you're left with this big chunky piece of plastic. So I'm like, okay, how do I how do I fix that problem? How do I do that? And I saw it as an opportunity to like let me make a case. Obviously there's demand for larger accessories. So why don't I make the packaging an accessory in itself? So that's where that's like just kind of like it made sense. Like, okay, you got all these bloody effects. Best thing to put them in is a casket. So that's how that came about. And like going forward,
Nice.
pretty much it's just all going to be I'm going to have all my accessories in some form of case or larger item, and that's going to be the packaging. It's not like Hasbro where I'm like did this whole like zero plastic waste thing. I'm just like I didn't want waste. I just wanted to make it super simple, and I saw it as an opportunity to do larger accessories that I would not have been able to do before.
Yeah, it looks awesome. All these like power tools and riot shields. I know a lot of people have been wanting riot shields in
Yep.
the 112 scale. I love the boxing gloves. I mean, I see right there like Big Boa from GI Joe customs coming out of those.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. And this was kind of a mix. So like there's another set we'll talk about later, the with the arcade set. But like this kind of I had like some items being sculpted on that one, and that one ended up taking a little bit longer than expected. And then I actually that one I was working on first, but then it was things were taking a little bit longer on that one, so I wanted to accelerate this project. So the boxing gloves actually originally came from that set, but the
oh,
sculpt got
okay.
done, so I actually moved into this one. Same thing with like the blood vomit effect. originally I just had a regular vomit effect. I'm like, let's just go gross on this one. So we did. I moved that same sculpt over to this one and just having the blood colors because I thought it kind of looked pretty, kind of looked nice. In that blood color, you can see the splash,
It's a
right?
nice color, and this is a nice spread for sure. And I love that cricket bat. Straight
Yeah,
up, just like reminds me of Shaun of the Dead.
exactly. Yeah, like a lot of that's definitely the reference that it's from.
Nice.
But yeah, a lot
Nice.
of this like kind of like feedback from collectors, stuff they wanted to see. The thing at the bottom was the swappable power saw and a chainsaw, so you can swap those two effects onto the little engine there. Um,
Nice.
yeah, and a lot of credit to one of my guys who designed this is a guy named Mark Greenbaum Productions, and he was like, I am not artistic. I have ideas that I want to do, but I can't design the stuff myself. So oftentimes I got to work with people who are more artistically inclined that can actually execute and make the stuff look good. So a lot of credit goes to him.
Yeah, this stuff it looks great, and I can't wait to get it in hand. Especially with like you got the swoosh for a ninja sword, and there's the blood effects attached to the weapons. That battle
Mhm.
axe looks sweet too.
Yeah, I wanted something kind of like a little bit, Mythic Legions-y or a little more medieval to fit in there.
Yeah, that sort of fits a lot of genres. There's a better look at the saws, man. Then this is showing it attached like to the two different things. Is that?
Yeah, you can. There's a little of a square peg. You can pop that out
Oh,
and
okay, okay.
reattach it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it helps a little bit with like the real estate in the packaging because you have too many kind of big pieces. Yeah, I figured like I did a chainsaw first. I'm like, but I would also like to see a power cutter, and
Yeah,
that was my solution to
this gives me high tension vibes.
that.
If you ever seen that movie at all. It's
Yeah,
like a foreign horror film, I guess.
uh, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of horror, you know, notes in this whole set.
Yeah,
The
and then the blood
eyeballs. They
effects.
mentioned that.
Yeah, eyeballs. That's awesome. And for anybody that is, wondering how do these things attach and stuff like that, like pretty much sticky tech, you
Yeah.
know.
So, well, I mean, a lot of people have like their own kind of methods and to get these to stick, but a lot of people use sticky tack. Um, I also I use a magician's wax for certain things. So if you buy directly from me, usually I'll put in like a little cube of magician's wax. That's helpful. But I find most people just end up using sticky tack.
Yeah, yeah. I've never messed with the wax before. I just got a little baggie of just sticky tack that I constantly use over and over again.
Right. Yeah, for action figure posers and photographers, it's like a must need because as great as these guys are, they it's impossible to balance them sometimes.
Yeah. And then we got some that you posed up on some just naked bucks.
Yeah, I think these are
Um,
like the V toys or one of the other kind of blank bucks that you can get.
punched him in the back of the head. His eyes are coming out.
Yep, yep, happens all the time.
See, now he's puking up blood. I sort of put them in order as if they were really fighting. Is that Van Damme's head?
I don't know.
Looks like it.
Could be.
But yeah, it looks good. See, guys, this is some stuff that you could do with your figures. And even if you're not into figure photography, you can still pose them up on the display with doing some awesome action poses. Yeah, that riot shield's gonna be fun.
Yeah, that one, a lot of work went into that one, but it turned out great. And yeah, I kind of made that to fit Cobra Vipers really well. That was like one of my key things. And I need to make sure that the arms fit in those holes just right.
And it even, with it being blank like that, that opens everybody up to put their own like water slides or stickers, however they want, sort of customize it themselves.
Yeah, I've seen a couple like the black fried shields out there, so I kind of want to do a clear one since that's a little more common these days
Right.
for like riot police.
We got the
The
nail
nail
gun in
gun.
effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that you pose on your Instagram and stuff definitely inspires me where I'll be like, I never even thought about mixing this with this one. And you just sit there and just start making all these different bigger effects out of all the effects.
Yeah, that's kind
And
of the
then
fun part is, I can when I started doing this, like if you look at my early photography, it's complete garbage. But this has been able to kind of like it gives me an opportunity to actually play with my own toys. Um and kind of like try to think creatively on like how what different ways people can play with these and pose them and whatever.
and you're also being nice to share some future projects that are sort of in the mix. Um, this is the arcade cabinet.
Yes, this is an arcade cabinet, and I'm calling it Game On, and um, this is the one I said I was actually working on first, and I kind of went crazy with it, and was thinking like originally it was just gonna be like one arcade design, and then I said okay, I want to make it look obviously if I'm gonna make selling something I can't make like a Marvel versus Capcom um
Right.
arcade set and try to sell that in stores. It's not gonna happen. So the first one I came up was actually the I think it's called like the Cyber Dagger. It's kind of a vaporwave type '80s nostalgic style arcade set, but I also wanted a fun one. So I want to kind of do a parody of Capcom games or like those like '90s fighters games. And um, I found a guy on Instagram actually reached out to me, and he had the right um art style and everything. I told him the idea I wanted to do, which was just like it's just a random idea that came in my head, which was kind of like a Capcom game, but like cats with knives. And, like that's the whole shtick. There's different cats with different knives, and he pulled it off amazing. Like I'm still happy with how this turned out.
This looks
It
amazing.
looks like a real game.
Yeah. This
And
looks
the artist's name was Jake Eckes. He was
okay.
super talented and did an amazing job. He was a delight to work with.
Yeah. And you could just it definitely looks like something you'd go into an arcade back in the day and see it actually there with
Yeah,
the big old images and then the how they just sort of loosely float like separate and then there's the title of the game.
yeah. As I said, like I don't have the artistic skills. I had an idea in my mind what I want it to look like, and I just described it to him in a couple paragraphs, and he drew out a sketch, which was basically this. I'm like, and he just nailed it on the first try.
That's awesome. RG says he's looking forward to those.
Yeah. So I got two. I got those two, and those of course have a bunch of accessories in it. One thing I'm actually working on. I was working on this today. Is trying to figure out how to put a light in there. Um, like I think a lot of photographers have kind of like those mini lights, but
Yeah.
I wanted. I don't know if I can get a light in the basic model, so I'm probably gonna have like a few. I'm trying to see whether I can have a bunch of light accessories created and that could be like an add-on because I don't think everyone necessarily needs them. So, and it's also like a pain in the butt to like deal with like electronics and consumer products. So I'll just like might just have like that be a separate accessory. But I'm trying to work that out and cost it out to not make
As
it make
long
it
as we could
expensive.
change out the batteries if it's going to be built in.
Yeah, it's gonna use button cells. That's I'm not gonna Apple you on this one.
But no, and this is the other design you had. Uh,
Yeah, and this is more of a more of an '80s kind of starfighter type game.
so are we gonna have options? We're gonna have options to get either or.
Yeah, there's two options.
Okay.
And on top of that, I reached out to Kyle Robinson, who actually he takes those Fortnite arcades and kind of reskins them. And I'll make the kind of the dimensions for this thing public. So if you want to go out there and cut your own skins for it and do your own whatever X-Men, Marvel vs. Capcom type game, you're more than welcome to do that. But I'm gonna work with a couple people to who do kind of skins for arcades and do like a really great job that they can offer, you know, alternatives that will fit these models if they want.
Yeah, because I can just see you buying a bunch of them and just setting up a nice little arcade dio.
That's the idea. Like I think I've seen a lot of people do that with other arcade makers out there. So I kind of want to give that flexibility an option if people want to
Yeah,
do it.
yeah. I've seen there's some other guy that was out there doing them, but I was like every time I look at them, I'm like, man, they're just so expensive.
Yeah, and that's like I definitely saw a lot of requests to do like an arcade set, and I'm like, okay, if I can make the price work, I'm gonna have this try to be the same price as it's gonna be the same price as the Casket of Violence, unless things get crazy with my facility. But I think I can keep myself honest about that price point
All
on
right,
this
so
one.
we got in this one we got a pair of boxing gloves, right? So it looks like a black set and a green set.
Yes. So I mentioned earlier, like originally the boxing gloves were made for this set, but I was able to sneak them in the casket because I figured you can't have too few boxing gloves, and more colors the merrier, right?
We got a
So this
VR
one
set.
will have black and green. The green's a little bit of a um, punch out kind of callback, Little Mac. I got a VR
That's what I
headset.
thought when I saw it too.
Yeah, yeah. I got a VR headset in there. Um, little coffee cup, little coffee mug. I got a face mask. We got a little dizzy effect, which goes really well with the boxing gloves, but I'm sure many people can figure out good use of that. I got a little kind of respirator mask.
Nice.
That kind of goes along with the there's a spray paint can. And that thing has like a detachable nozzle that can be swapped out with the pink and green ones there. Those pink and green
Okay.
ones, those colors I'm final. I'm going to make them a lot brighter. But those can be swapped in for different spray effects for the can. I got a folding chair, a little handheld gaming system, an iPad. Those two little ball things, those are actually joysticks for the arcade.
Okay. Then
I got
headset.
headphones, and the headphones are actually really complicated because figures have varying different sized heads and hair and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get actually some samples for my factory soon because I'm trying to work on kind of a rail peg type system, so it's adjustable. So
Okay.
provided you don't have like a gigantic afro or helmet on your head, as long as you have kind of within a good range. I'm trying to make these so you can fit on as many as many standard heads possible.
Nice. And we
We
got
got
some
we got
drumsticks.
drumsticks. Um, got a soccer ball, a basket. I know you're looking at the flame. I'll tell you what that is. Got a soccer ball, the basketball, and a football. So the flame effect is going to attach to the three balls. So if you want a flaming football or a flaming
No.
basketball, like
Some
a la
NBA Jam.
NBA Jam, yeah, you can tell what era I grew up in. For
That's
like a
awesome.
flaming soccer ball, that's what that's for. Um, but that flame effect will have multi-purpose. You want to stick it on someone's head and have that be on fire, or whatever. Creativity is going to be your only limit. So that I hope to have is I hope to see some creative uses of that one.
Nice. And then we
They got the hockey sticks
and some pucks.
and the pucks, and then the vomit effect. I moved over. I can't actually remember which one came first. The vomit effect. Um, yeah, that's it's the same sculpt as the one in the Casket of Cruelty. I can't remember if I made it for this set first. I made it for this set. Yeah, I did. I made it for this. I had it made for this set first, and and yeah, and then this is kind of like the normal effect. And then I kind of like what would this look like if it was blood red? And that's how I ended up in the Casket of Cruelty.
Oh, that's awesome. You can never have enough of these effects in different colors.
Yeah, when I got my sample, I started playing around with it. I'm like, this is so fun. And I think especially on like a medium like Instagram, the more shocking or crazy the photo is, the kind of better reception you get on it.
And then we got the acoustic guitar.
Right. And I got an acoustic guitar. I was kind of like playing around whether I would do electric or acoustic, but I've seen a lot of electric guitars out there, so I decided to do an acoustic one because I haven't really seen those
Nice.
around. And by the way, like one thing I was kind of really happy to work on with this set was one of the original Four Horsemen, Chris Dahlberg, sculpted. I think almost all of these. There's a couple that he didn't. There's a
Oh,
couple that
that's
I got elsewhere, but yeah, he sculpted the set. He did a bang up job, and it was he got stuff look. It looks great. It looks great in person. I'm really happy how it turned out. Well, I think I missed a few. Yeah, I missed a camera. So there's a DSLR camera in there with swappable lenses. Obviously, that's a shout out for the action figure photography community, but definitely has a lot of other uses. And then that weird white thing next to the camera, those are popping eyeballs. That's
oh
more of a kind of
nice.
a fun, jokey effect.
Nice, nice. Now Darth Gutierrez says, do the hands go inside those boxing gloves?
So obviously, a lot of like action figure hands are too big. So, but the good news is a lot of figures these days is pretty standard that their hands can pop off. So I made those cuffs big enough to provide there isn't like an additional like arm guard on your hands. most normal wrists should be able to fit in there. So
Okay.
it's quite roomy.
It's roomy.
Yeah,
All right.
those are
Let's get
roomy gloves.
And then we got something special. This is something
Yes,
that you sort of teased when we first talked. You were actually trimming one of these.
that's right. That's right. So one request I get a lot is people want to see alien blood or green blood, and I don't disagree. So a lot of all the blood effects from the Castle of Cruelty, I'm going to reuse those that mold basically, and they're going to be kind of like a greenish, yellowish greenish color. So you want to use that for aliens or for orcs and goblins or for monsters, what have you. You know, those going to be put into this one. So, um, Donman Art is a amazing sculptor and is just like nonstop pumping out great stuff. Anyone who has a 3D printer or just wants like cool sculpts, he makes a ton of stuff. A lot of it is um, scalable to GI Joe. So there's a lot of the weapons, a lot of the heads, a lot of the accessories. If you're trying to build out your own line because Hasbro isn't pumping them out quickly enough or making them easy enough to buy, but you have a 3D printer, you can get them from him, and it's a very reasonable subscription price, and he just is constantly pumping out stuff. Very talented sculptor. Anyone who's I recommend anyone to check him out. He's got some really cool stuff coming out. And he's
Now,
making an action figure line as well.
really?
So yeah, it's like orcs and like kind of
Wait,
mercenaries type theme.
that's the stuff
A
I've been seeing
fist.
pop up in some of the groups. There's a guy that's been doing that, so that must be yeah, it must be him.
Yeah,
Where
it's
it's sort
called
of like almost
fists, I
like
think.
like they have that classified feel, but then they're like fantasy or more sci-fi.
Yes. Yeah. So I think they're doing a Kickstarter, so I'm keeping an eye on them. Like as I said, he's like super talented in sculpting, so I'm really interested to
Yeah.
see how that one turns out, and I'll
So,
probably be funding it. Well,
what are the probabilities any of these like green effects glowing in the dark or being blacklight reactive?
that's an interesting idea. For glow in the dark's tough because you got to
Okay.
get it right, and it's also pricey. So
Okay.
probably not. I think for action figure, like that's the other thing. Like glow in the dark, um, doesn't have as much appeal to action figure photographers. So I found that the request I always get is for like translucent stuff because
Okay.
that just it pops better under the light. So for these ones, I'm going to kind of keep the translucent thing and just make them more green. So
And they can stack.
yes, so the whole point of these is again like I want to have the cases be functional and usable in different ways. And I know people buy more than one set. I encourage you to buy more than one set, but you know these accessory things you can dump your weapons in there. It can be a weapons crate. It can kind of be a for your space missions or for your futuristic army. So yeah, they're stackable. Um, good. I want them to look good in the background. Essentially.
Nice. Yeah, this is stuff that's gonna be awesome. I mean, you're definitely evolved from those packages. Cause yeah,
Yeah,
like you're saying,
I
those
saw an
packages, you're like, how
opportunity.
do I get them out? It's like I peel the layer off and there's still cardboard there. And
Yeah,
I gotta cut
trust me.
around and try to peel it. And
Yeah, it was upsetting me too, trying to get those out. Like I like how they look, but again, these little things that annoy me, I'm like, okay, how do I make this better?
I mean, shit, you got people out there that are the companies that are pumping out those like weird slime, put weird shit together after you cut it open and all that crazy stuff. All that stuff's inside something. It's awesome to see accessories doing the same thing, just with instead of being stuck with like a hollow whatever storage thing, bug, whatever the heck they were doing. Like these are actually useful for amongst a variety of lines.
Yeah, yeah, that's kind of the whole point. It gave me an opportunity to make bigger stuff as long as we can put stuff in it. So that's kind of where I'm gonna be going forward. And it was kind of I was working the arcade set for months, and then um it was Hazard. Hazard like the Fortnite ones. I'm like, oh no, they're doing like the same thing, and it's really cheap. But then I got it. I'm like, okay, these are pretty crappy. I'm not too worried. The one I'm doing is better sized. It's meant to be photographed. It's not as cheap looking.
I mean, they were knocking it out. I mean, this is towards the era that a lot of people didn't like Joe's, but I mean, with the Sigma 6 figures, I loved their package design because it had like the top part and bottom part once you cleared out the figure and all the plastic and bullshit. You closed it, and it became like a weapons crate that way.
Right. Yeah.
And
Like I
yeah,
know action figure collectors. We're creative. We like to use this stuff. But yeah.
but they got to be good. They can't be cheap. They can't be little cardboard boxes like they're currently doing for GI Joe. It's like, here we put all this print
Yeah.
work and names, and there's even like a digit, like who's gonna keep using this? It's gonna get all nasty and weathered.
Yeah. It's a start. It's a step in the right direction. But like I get it. I this is not honestly, this is not cheap to do, like the larger pieces. Um, I make it work. I don't have the same kind of margins that Hasbro has to do to survive, to keep its shareholders happy. That's not my problem, so I can kind of be flexible on this. For me,
It's not my problem.
it's not. Yeah, it's for me. At the end of the day, I want to make good product that's fun, and I don't want to bankrupt myself doing it. So as long as it like covers itself, I can keep on doing this. It covers itself and it covers the next product. Then I'm going to keep on doing this. So
No.
that's my company philosophy.
Darth Gutierrez wants to know where you ship from.
Yeah, I'm in New York. All domestic is free shipping, unless it's like a single beer bottle. Otherwise, that costs more than the shipping itself. So I think I have like a minimum shipping requirement, but everything after that, it's free shipping. So I sell on eBay and Etsy as well, and all that stuff is free shipping. So in the U.S., if you're international, if you're a non-U.S. buyer, there's obviously international shipping tagged in, but I'm always trying to find um, local uh, comic book stores or toy retailers. So if you want to get into your country at a cheaper price, let me know who you buy your toys from, and I'll sell it to them.
There you go. There you go. And that's awesome, doing the free shipping thing. And then for everybody that's wanting to get a hold of these, when does the casket go up for pre-order? I think it's on Big Bad Toy Store, right?
Yeah, it's available
And
pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. Um, so originally I wanted this out by October, but like I gotta be sympathetic about the supply chain thing because I'm living with it right now. Production is just taking longer. Costs have been going up. Originally I wanted this to be $25, and just the production of it has been crazy, and that's why it's at 35. It kept on creeping up, and I guess I also want to keep on putting more cool stuff in there too.
but I mean,
But yeah, originally it's supposed to be like October. I was hoping to get it done in production in like August and have it in hand in October, and things just kept getting delayed. So it
it's out of
left
your
the
control though.
factory. Yeah, it left the factory finally, um, beginning of this month. So it is on a cargo ship. It's on its way here. It should take 4 to 6 weeks from there. So I'm theoretically supposed to have them by mid-December, barring any issues at the docks. So I hope to have them for Christmas. Um, if you pre-order them on BBTS and Entertainment Earth, thank you for supporting this early. It's gonna be shipped to them like literally the day after. I want them out of my hands, and so they can fulfill them. And then
Now,
I'll have them open on my website, available as well.
okay.
I sell FBA on Amazon, so I'll be sending a bunch of cases there because I know a lot of people buy on Amazon as well. So again, one of my philosophies in this business, I don't want people to have to hunt for this stuff. I want it to be available, and I'll have plenty for everyone. So and I'll give you as many. I'll give as many options as possible for you to get them.
So definitely follow him on Instagram, and make sure you guys are keeping updated, because you don't want to miss that out when he drops them in December. That'd be a good Christmas gift for yourself or for a loved one to get you for Christmas. And then we got the website here. This is, if you guys want to get super action stuff, here's the website. It's in the description. Very simple to go through. We got the foodie sets, and then the recooked, which is the repainted,
Mhm.
and then the firepower. So all of these are available. Um, and then they're limited quantities on these, right? For, you said you have a couple of the firepowers left.
Yeah, the orange, I had set 2 firepower schools. I got a lot of feedback asking for like the yellow effects for the muzzles. So The orange ones, those are I'm like down to the last case. So there's not many of those left, but the yellow ones I still have quite a few of those. So if you're really partial to orange muzzle effects and orange bullets, then those I'm starting to run down to my last few. But the yellow ones I still have quite a few of those.
Okay. You
So
guys get
that's
this.
firepower version 2.
This one's only 17. Foodies. You guys get yourself the whole foodie sets. There you go. Love the hot dog. The hot dog design is one of my favorites. And then also I do enjoy the donut as well.
Yeah, thank you. Those are always fun to see different ways people photograph them.
Your turkey legs and stuff like that. But yeah, I like this set a lot, and I don't mind some of the stuff. Like even when you had like the first stuff being a little bit brighter colors and stuff like that, it to me it still can help with photography. It's like if you look at like anybody that does like stage performances or some of the stuff that's in movies and stuff. Some of the stuff since they would make stuff a little bit more brighter and stuff because it just picked up well,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
can see it at a better distance and stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw it work really well with like people like Ninja Turtles and Simpsons. It really fit with those universes. And like and anime as well. So that's kind of where I saw the best uses of it, the
Yeah,
original one.
and this apple is awesome as well.
Yeah.
You got those
Thank you.
colors perfect on that.
Yeah, I'm a little happier with the recoat colors. They fit more with like the kind of the lines that I collect.
There's your little the game on stuff. But yeah, man, this is awesome. So everybody that's been watching, anybody watching into the future, I mean, in the future that you guys are watching this, make sure if you're wanting to take your figures to the next level, want to start getting into figure photography, this is a good cost-effective way to do it. You're not spending, $60 on two effects and things like that. You're actually getting a lot for your dollar. And it's awesome to hear that you're actually wanting to keep it as low as possible. Like because you're a fellow collector yourself
Yeah,
and
I
how
mean,
you
I
were
think the
experienced.
action figure collecting kind of base is 20, 30,000 of us. So my goal is to serve that community, whoever wants to, kind of increase the value and playability of all their figures. Like I know we all have a bunch of them, and I found personally when I started like doing this stuff and thinking like what are the types of accessories I want to make for ourselves. Once I started playing with these, I'm like, yeah, these have a lot of fun potential. There's so many different ways of fun like poses and scenes and whatever that you can do with them.
Now, if people like you're saying that you're getting feedback from other like figure photographers and collectors and things like that, were they just commenting like on your Instagram post or how were they giving suggestions and stuff like that?
Combination of everything. Like people would comment on the Instagram posts and be like, "Hey, I want to. Can you guys do like a machete?" Or sometimes they just like message me directly, and like that's cool too. You want to message me directly and say, "Hey, I would really love to see you guys do, you know, whatever, like a Halloween set or like jack o' lanterns and things like that." Like, yeah, I'm open to that stuff. I've got a lot of sets planned for the future, but I'm going to keep on doing this as long as there's an audience. And some of the best ideas and feedback I get is from like other collectors. Like if you want to see it made, I'll try to, and I think it's stuff that everyone else wants and it's doable. It's not impossible for me to make it. I'm going to try.
Nice. Nice, nice. And anybody that does have any of these sets or are picking them up in the future, if you guys are taking photos of your figures using them, make sure you're you know tagging super action stuff so Greg can take a look at them and see them. He likes to
Yeah,
see
I love that stuff.
likes to see his
And
stuff in photos.
yeah, and once I kind of handle the first wave of caskets, I'm gonna try to do some photo photography contest or something.
Nice. Photo contests are always fun, and I know a lot of people that watch my content that are going to be into it. Like the whole Toy Talk crew um, are definitely going to be interested.
Yeah,
That's
I'm actually in conversations with them to sponsor a future one.
oh awesome. Awesome. Yeah, all those guys are great, and their content's fun, and they're just really talented guys with some of the stuff that they do with figures, and it's I've been learning a lot from them when I have questions, or I'll be like, "Hey, what do you think of this?" Or, and they'll give their feedback. And that's something that's very rare in some of these instances when you're communicating with figure photographers. Some people want to keep it close to the chest, but then there's some that are just like, yeah, they're willing to help you out. They want to be nice.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the community's been great. I don't think I've ever gotten um, bad feedback or people who are kind of closed off and don't want to talk with me at all. Everyone's pretty helpful. Everyone understands like this is definitely a learned art. There's so many creative ways to kind of figure out what you want to put in your scenes, how accessories can be used. So yeah, I reach out to a lot of like figure photographers out there. I'm like, hey, I'd send a couple samples. I'm like, what do you think of this product? How can it be improved? What are the types you want to see? Because the figure photographers that are living the stuff more than anyone else, trying to figure out how to make these things work. So if they can make it look good, then I want to make it.
Yeah, that is very true. But all right, anybody before we call it? We've been going for almost an hour, and I don't want to eat up much of Greg's time. So if you guys have any questions for super action stuff, comment down below. I do got Darth Gutierrez. I'll be getting stuff from you, boss.
Thank you.
RG, I definitely have some food items, but looking forward to getting the new stuff. So, and then Darth in like the donut. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, comment now. If not, then this will conclude episode 8. So give you guys some time to ask some questions. RG, quick. When's the next toy show you may attend?
Um, that's a great question. I don't know. So I was at New York Comic Con for a little England for years, just for fun. But I don't know. I'm near New Jersey, so I know there's a lot of toy conventions. Right now, I just need new product. Once I get new product, um, once I get the arcade set as well, I'll probably start thinking about showing up at a couple toy shows and see if I can sell them and show them off there. But I don't know yet. I plan to eventually.
I think Darth Gutierrez, great products. Hopefully you and your business prospers. Godspeed, Greg.
Thanks,
Always
brother.
that positivity is going to be, that's powerful stuff right there. I love it.
Yeah, I mean it's a great community, and I always get great feedback. Um, People have been super supportive. I love when people use the products of photography and share with me. So it's always great to see like the creativity that is like constantly being presented by a lot of the collectors out there.
And RG, will you be partnering with Ricky again?
Oh, from Plunderlings, right? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
he and I are friends. So um, he was last year and this year he was very kindly offered to have my product sold at his booth. So I was I'm like I hadn't considered doing a con on my own, but he offered the space and he was very kind about that. So I am always trying to do something with Ricky. I have a lot of respect for Plunderlings. It's a great company. He's a guy who I think has great values and he wants to build his brand and run a toy business the right way. And he makes an amazing product. So if anyone hasn't heard of Plunderlings, I know people of your channel have because he's also been great to you. But it's a great product. I want to see them succeed. Um, as a brand, as a toy company. So keep an eye on them. It's run by a really great guy, Ricky. And they're definitely going to be going places.
And the great thing is like your products fit perfectly with them too.
Yeah,
Like
that's actually how
all
it
of it.
started.
Like
Like I was like, damn, these products look good, and if they were kind of like they kind of fit with the food products initially. So I reached out
yeah.
to them like, hey, are you interested in like bananas and apples to go along with your plunderlings? Maybe you want to pack them in your future sets. That's kind of how I started the conversation because I saw his original Kickstarter. I'm like, wow, this is great products. The feedback that you're getting from the community is great. So that's kind of how I started conversations with them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, just like seeing all the stuff, like even like all the turkey legs. I'm like, I can just see the blunderlings chomping down on a turkey leg, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
I've done pictures of that, they look great together.
Yeah, I keep telling everybody, I was like, Plunderlings, as crazy and cool as they look, they will blend in with a lot of stuff that you would least expect. With a bunch of different figures and stuff like that, even though there's that slight cartooniness to them. But yeah, no, that's awesome. And see right there, you already have you know you're cool with Plunderlings. You're definitely cool with me because Plunderlings is great. So and yeah, I guess that's it for questions. Nobody else has asked anything else except for Art G was the last one. And I know you got stuff you need to do, but I do thank you for taking your time today to get on my state of the art and talk about super action stuff. I do look forward to everything that you're going to be doing, um, because it's awesome. And again, that passion that you have with the collecting yourself is just pouring into your product, and it's gonna be awesome. And I do look forward to seeing that alternate cabinet with the light. But I know a lot of people. I did talk with some other fig photographers, and some were saying, the light thing is not super big deal because a lot of them have their lights.
Right.
So
So I didn't want to make it standard. I want to kind of make it an optional piece for people who want it. So we'll see. I have some test pieces that are being shipped to me soon. So I'll probably
it'll
share
be
those on Instagram soon.
it'll be awesome either way, I'm sure.
Yeah,
But
but
all right,
Arthur, appreciate the kind words and the support,
not a
and
problem.
help along the way. So, um, thanks for inviting me to the show again. Always happy to talk about this stuff. It's a shared passion for all of us.
Yeah, you're welcome
Um,
anytime. Anytime you want to show off some
and
stuff, just let me
anyone
know.
listening, following, if you again, I'm serious. If you want to see something made, if you want to, if you want an accessory or um got some idea of something you want me to include in a future set, let me know, and I'm gonna try my best to make it.
And as I tell everybody on every video, I want you guys to have the best luck hunting, keep on collecting, and have a beautiful day.